Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today, and we're going to be looking on the subject of intimacy. All right, so we are going to be looking at physical intimacy and what action you may be expecting in the near future with the physical side of things, but we also will be looking at the more emotional intimacy stuff as well. Okay, so regardless of whether you are single or already in a connection, we're going to see what's sort of popping out for you just for the near future here. So this week, next week, okay, but we are going to start just straight up with Aries this week and move on through. Please like and subscribe to the channel, just a super small channel, so I do really appreciate all the support, guys. It does mean a lot to me. Now today I am using the Reynoso Fogo Fire Queens Lenormand deck. Okay, as anyone who's watched any of my intimacy videos before will know, it is a very sexual deck, and we do get a lot of very sexualized kind of messages. Okay, so that's sort of what we're looking at today. I've just got to be very careful with certain things that I say on YouTube. Obviously they do have some stricter guidelines with some of that stuff. All right, so unlike other readers, but I'm such a small channel. I'm not really. There is a couple of cards. Well, one card in particular I can think of that does have nudity, but I don't really try to cover that up. It's not really that visible or anything, but I haven't been flagged for it yet. So let's keep our fingers crossed anyway. But I do try to be careful with what I'm saying, because the videos do come through with transcripts and whatnot as well, so I'm not wanting to get flagged for anything too overt. All right, but do leave a comment and let me know what track you're on. If it resonates for you, you're more than welcome to check multiple placements, check the placements of people you're involved with, those sorts of things as well. But getting straight on into it, so I will be laying it out kind of 2 cards for physical, 2 cards for emotional. All right, so what we see is with the physical stuff, we do get that what action is happening in your love life, and then with the emotional, it does talk a lot more about the energy side of things, but it can talk about those quiet moments of intimacy as well. So that affection and intimacy, rather than the outright wham bam kind of energy. All right, but we'll have a look and see what comes through for everybody. So as always, I will take timestamps, so you'll see me doing that, but we'll start with Aries. How are we today, Aries? Okay, intimacy, physical and emotional intimacy. What's going on with Aries? 2 for each. Okay, Aries. So I do have on the bottom of the deck the heart card there. So this, whatever we're sort of seeing here with you and intimacy at the moment, there is that level of love coming through with that as well. But on the physical side, we definitely are seeing some sort of physical intimacy coming through for you. These both are sort of a little bit more actionated energies for you. Firstly, we have the Sun. Okay. Every time I see this card in this particular deck, it brings to mind that Guns N' Roses song. I want to lay you down in a bed of roses. Here we've got a field of red flowers. They're not actually roses, but it always brings that song to mind. But this is about a lot of happiness on a physical level, on that action that you're getting kind of level. A lot of happiness, and it does really bring things to light, bring things out into the open, a little bit more. So we do sort of feel that with with that, bringing things out into the open, we do also have this is actually the snake card here. So you've straight away gotten the card that does have the nudity on that one there. But it does sort of come from a pit of emotion here. We see the emotion, the woman sitting in the water, which is usually talking about emotion. So it is sort of feeling like it's very emotionally driven passion, but things coming to light. I do feel as though this is somebody's energy towards you, Aries, that, they've got all these flames of passion burning brightly for you, and there is a lot of desire there, but it is coming from this base of emotion. Okay, so what's coming to light is you may, with that snake energy, sometimes we do have that energy of, deception or deceiving yourself about something, whereas this person seems to, that's kind of the emotion they're sitting in. They may not feel as though you desire them in return. You may not realize they desire you, but it is sort of coming to light. There is a lot of temptation linked in with that card as well, and it's sort of really coming into the light, being revealed to you that this person does have a lot of physical passion towards you. So whether you were or were not aware of that, sometimes it can talk about, someone sort of hiding that passion from themselves or from you. All right, so definitely a lot of action for you in the near future with the physical side of things, Aries. And then when we see the emotional sides of things, we do have the Garden. Okay, and that Garden card is followed by the Anchor. All right, so it does feel that, this is all the same sort of energy. So the Garden is actually my date card, but I'm kind of feeling that with that Anchor there, that we're a bit stuck on the emotional side of things with this person. So, like I said, they are coming from a lot of emotion. We did have that Heart on the bottom of the deck. So there is a potential for love there between the two of you. But with the Garden, it's quite a social card. And it kind of, with the Anchor, it's kind of someone possibly a little bit stuck on, meeting others rather than focusing on one. Someone may be a little bit more focused on their social life rather than their sexual life, their intimate life. Maybe we are a little bit stuck in meeting each other in the middle when it comes to the more emotional side of the intimacy between you and this person. It does just feel as though there is a little bit of stuck energy there, on the emotional, affectionate side of things. There's a lot of physical attraction and desire, but there's on the other side of things that intimate, that truly, emotionally intimate level. It does feel like it is a little bit stuck, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, Aries. But for now, we'll move on over to our Taurus. Hi, Taurus. How are we today? Just looking at intimacy. Okay, physical action versus emotional affections. Okay, Taurus. What's going on for Taurus on an intimate level? Physical versus emotional. Okay, so bit of an interesting one for you here, Taurus, because we do have the stalk firstly in the physical side of things. So there is this element of action getting stirred up, and someone trying to really stir up some new stuff in the bedroom, just stirring up a lot of new sort of energy getting stirred up on a physical kind of level, but it's also with the moon. All right, so the moon is all about emotions, which, we're trying to look at the physical side of things firstly here, and the emotional card has come up. So it kind of feels as though for you at the moment, Taurus, the physical intimacy is actually very, very linked with the emotional intimacy, and getting physical is actually stirring up emotion, rather than it being able to be, solely about the passion and the desire and the physical action. It's kind of just if you are getting involved in action at the moment, it is kind of just stirring you up emotionally. So for those of you who aren't, intending to, be physical in the bedroom or anything like that in the near future, it's kind of you're stirring up the emotions about wanting that, so it is kind of going a little bit two ways there. It's just any physical interactions are actually stirring you up emotionally at the moment, rather than just being a physical type of thing. But what I'm actually seeing with because I'm just kind of getting this vibe, Taurus, of a couple of you there, that every time you're getting physical, it's stirring up this emotion within you, that that you're wanting more emotion, or that you're getting overwhelmed with the emotion side of things. It's kind of that difference of that difference between having sex and making love, and whoever you're experiencing the physical with, it's veering more towards that making love side of things rather than just a physical thing. And I'm feeling that a lot of you are actually uncomfortable with that and not wanting it to cross that line, and you're wanting to sort of stay, just physical, just sort of maybe more casual, but it's really stirring up an emotional level within the physical. And then when we do look at the emotional side of things for you, Taurus, we do see the scythe there. So that does talk about, wanting a break, wanting a change from love. We do see the heart coming through there. So on an emotional level, it kind of really feels as though you are actually wanting a break from love and wanting a break from the, having to get too close to somebody, having to, be affectionate and intimate. It does feel as though that this is all coming from you, Taurus, that you're wanting to sort of just take a break from, from the emotion, that the heart stuff, the love stuff. You're kind of wanting to separate that a little bit more from yourself, and every time you're getting involved in action, it's just stirring all that up for you. And it's giving me that vibe of somebody who's in a bit of a connection here, where you're just wanting one thing, where the other person is wanting something a little bit more, and you're just sort of feeling a little bit overwhelmed by that, because you're not wanting to really give much more at the moment. You're happy to just take things how they are and stay in a more physical zone. So if that's not you, Taurus, you're more than welcome to swap that to the other person if that fits your personal situation, or otherwise check your other placements. I am finding this week your rising sign is a little bit stronger too, so you might want to check that one. But that's what we have for you, Taurus. So we'll move over to our Geminis. Hi, Gemini. How are we today? Okay, Gemini. Intimacy. What's going on for our Geminis? Physical versus emotional. Okay. Getting a pretty straightforward story here, Gemini. I am seeing on the physical side of things, we do have the fox first and foremost. Okay, so this kind of lets us know, Gemini, that, you have been, or you are currently still, just getting your own needs met when it comes to the physical side of stuff, the action. This is our little player card, so this really does talk about, keeping it casual, playing the field, getting as much out of physical experiences as you can get, taking care of your own needs first before we're worrying about the other party a little bit there. So, it can be a little bit selfish, but very independent. You know what you want, and you get that sorted for yourself before getting too deep, and then you sort of I'm getting that, thank you next. That is it, Ariana Grande song, thank you next, thank you next. But what I'm kind of getting to though is that fox energy. It does seem to be a little bit more closer to the past for you, Gemini. It does feel like you're ready to move away from that. On a physical level, you're happy. You've been happy with the physical side of things. You have been, playing the field maybe, and getting your own survival out of that. But it does feel as though, we do have the book here, so it does feel as though you're right at that precipice where you're ready for the next chapter, and you're actually ready for the intimacy. You're ready for that emotional connection as well. And it kind of feels as though this fox energy is just not, you're kind of realizing that this is just, maybe has been part of your story, but it doesn't have to be, the next chapter as well, is kind of what I'm feeling for you here, Gemini, that you are sort of, ready to turn the page and settle down a little bit, I feel, for you, Gemini, because in the emotional side of things, we do have the lily, all right, as well as the ring. Okay, so that emotionally, it's kind of letting us know that you're ready to settle down. Like the lily is a longevity card. It is all about emotional intimacy and finding that emotional intimacy. So, to see the emotional intimacy coming through when we're asking about emotional intimacy, it does show that this is sort of strong in your mind at the moment, and you are sort of trying to move toward this energy, and you sort of are thinking a little bit more long term rather than casual now. So starting to create connections that are, a little bit more long term potential rather than just getting your needs met. Especially with the ring there as well, it does talk about, connections and relationships. So it really does feel though, Gemini, that you are sort of ready to, settle on down and move away from just the physical. It feels as though you're now sort of moving towards a stage where you're going to, and can also be, it doesn't have to be anything, fully serious. It can just be talking about, long-term casual as well, because we have seen that fox there. So it's you starting some sort of new chapter for yourself, though, moving more into the emotional aspect of intimacy rather than just the physical, and having that, bang next, bang next, bang next energy. So even if that's not the case for you, it's that energy, okay, that, on a physical counterpoint, maybe that's all you've been meeting is people that are only interested in that, and you're starting to actually open up to and starting to meet people that are actually, open to the emotional side of things as well. Okay, so very very clever though with that fox energy. You're being smart about it in some sort of way as well, Gemini. So it's kind of like you've had your fun, and now you're ready to settle down and take care of yourself in a more long-term way, rather than and get those needs met long-term rather than just here and now, and then I'll worry about tomorrow. This is more long-term, getting your needs met long-term. All right. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, Gemini. Okay, but we'll move on over to our Cancers. Hey, Cancer, how are we? Just looking at intimacy today. Okay, so physical intimacy, the action versus the emotional intimacy, and things like affection and attraction on an emotional level. Okay, Cancer. What's going on with Cancer with intimacy, please? Pretty straightforward story here, Cancer. Some of you may be on the cusp of Gemini, or have some extra placements in Gemini as well, because it is a very sort of similar-ish energy to what we saw with Gemini. With your physical side of things, we have the scythe first and foremost. So, you may have already started, but this is a sudden break or a change All right. So I do feel, and then we do have the cross as well. So the cross is like, you know, your spiritual connections, your destiny, basically. So it's kind of letting us know that, you know, it's kind of destined for you to make a sudden break from it at the moment. Have a bit of a change by, you know, not engaging in the physical side of things. This does sort of let us know that you're having a bit of a break from the physical side of stuff. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, because you've got, it's a strong sort of message here too, that, you know, I can see straight away with the intimacy side of it as well, that, you know, you are taking a break from the physical stuff because, you know, you're having faith that something with that emotional side of things is coming through for you. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm going to, you know, have a break from, you know, just anything casual or anything like that, because I know that there's a better connection out there, and you're focusing more now on connections that are, you know, very spiritual based and not just physical. All right. So you're kind of erring away from the solely physical connections, and they're needing to be a little bit more for you before you sort of break that out for yourself. If you have been having a lot of physical, it is, you know, telling you may need to take a break. If you are someone who hasn't been having a lot of physical, maybe that's the break that we're having, okay? A break from whatever your current situation is. So some of you, I'm feeling though that this has kind of already started. You've already started the break. All right. So a lot of you are going to know straight away which side of that you're on, whether you are someone overtly sexual who is now taking a break from that, or whether you're someone who's very introverted on that side of things, and you're taking a break from hiding away from that, and you're getting out there a little bit more on a physical level. So it's going to be a little, you know, here and there for some of you, but you know, I feel like a lot of you already know for yourself, like if you're taking a break from your current sex life, what does that mean for you? Like, if you're doing the opposite, all of a sudden, does that mean all of a sudden you're having more, or all of a sudden you're having none? Is kind of what I'm getting there. But I do feel for a lot of you, this is, you know, celibacy, because especially too with that cross card, because we do see religious connotations coming through with that card as well. So certain more traditional things of, you know, the idea of celibacy and holding yourself until marriage and those sorts of things can be sort of influencing that a little bit as well. But with the intimacy side of things, we do see the book as well as the stars. All right. So it's kind of like you're holding off until you get the exact thing that you're wishing for. You know, you're wanting, you know, there's a wish tied up in the emotional affection side of things. And you're wanting a brand new chapter for yourself. You are wanting to, you know, start your story. I feel like some of you, this may be like, there may be at least one person watching who, you know, is definitely looking towards, you know, meeting someone that they're going to marry, and meeting someone that, you know, that's going to be my person. I'm not going to have anything with anyone until, you know, I can start this new chapter with this new person, and then be my wish come true, and then all the desire comes out once we have that wish sort of fulfilled. So I do feel for a lot of you, you know, we're just focusing on doing things in new ways as well. We're taking that break so that we can, you know, do things in new ways so that our wishes can be, you know, fulfilled the way that we want, so that we can get our truest desires, not just physical desires, our emotional needs and those sorts of wishes met as well. So it does feel like you are looking for something a little bit deeper at the moment, Cancer, than just the physical side of things, and taking a bit of a break from the physical stuff. All right. So that's what we have for you, Cancer. But you're more than welcome to check other placements, of course. But for now, we'll move on over to Leo. How are we, Leo? just looking today at physical intimacy and emotional intimacy. Okay. Leo, what's going on for Leo with intimacy? Physical versus emotional. All right, just one more to clarify on the emotional intimacy stuff, please. A few people are getting this sort of similar message, Leo, when it comes to the emotional stuff. With the physical stuff, though, we do have the masculine there. And as you can sort of see, he's got his head thrown back in a very sexualized pose there, surrounded by passion and whatnot as well. We do also have the stork. Okay, so that's kind of the energy that stirring up that masculine energy within yourself, I feel. So I do feel for you, Leo, that there is a lot of physical action available to you at this time, whether you're actually acting on that or not. That's up to you. But there is a lot of physical action available to you, and it's very masculine energy getting stirred up for you at this time. So regardless of gender and regardless of the gender that you're interested in, this masculine energy there, it's it can be on a physical action side of things. It can talk about, the control dynamics between you and your partner, and that dynamic getting stirred up at the moment. But I am really getting drawn to this idea of control in a different sense. Not just the control, like domineering type control, but control like I keep getting the word fasting, but it's not quite that. It's that control. I can't think of the terminology of what I'm getting here. It's like that thing where you abstain, and then it makes the explosion stronger. Does that make sense? It's like that controlling the I cannot think of the terminology. I know it and I cannot think of the terminology. It's that holding back. It's not withholding from physical altogether. Not at all. No, this is different. This is it's that right when you're about to, it's like stop, hold back, stop. Not yet. And then build up. Stop, hold back. Build up. So it's like, is it called like edging? Is that what it is? Something along those lines. It's like controlling the final result. Okay, I don't want to say the words, but because YouTube, but it's that edging yourself right up to the limit and then going, hang on, stop, back. Now build up. I can't think of the terminology properly. But that's the energy I'm getting. There might be some sort of energy like that on a physical level going on for you at the moment, Leo. And it's like really stirring you up, and it's really stirring you up on this whole new, like it feels like a new level, like it's like some sort of new dynamic for you. Yeah. So I'm getting, for a lot of you Leos, I'm getting that it's more about the actions and what's happening during the physical. You know, a lot of the other signs so far, it's been telling us, you know, are they going to get laid or you know, or not? Or are they abstaining altogether? You know, but what yours is more about the actions themselves. Um, but it's like, it's kind of, you know, that very teasing kind of energy too, with that stalk energy, because it's like a stirring each other up and teasing. I'm getting a lot of teasing and controlling, you know, but in, like I said, in a different way of controlling your, you know, what's happening to your body, not controlling each other as much. Um, so it's like really controlling. But you know, this definitely, for some of you, this is actually just you yourself. This is not necessarily even involving a partner. All right, but I do feel that majority of you, we are looking at a partner with that masculine energy. Um, but it's like really bringing that masculine energy out of you, that, you know, controlling the chaos within you when it comes to what you're feeling and whatnot. Very interesting anyway. But that's what we have on that side of things, Leo. But when it comes to the emotional side of things, we do have the Tower, followed by the Crossroad. All right, so there is this, and I did clarify that with the stars as well there. Okay, and so the Tower and the Crossroads. The Crossroads is about, you know, choosing which direction you're going, and the Tower is kind of, you know, there's kind of, I'm getting two messages that, you know, you are you know, wanting to veer away from roads that you've already traveled. You know, you're wanting to take the road less traveled emotionally. You know, you know where you've been in the past, and you're not wanting to go back down that same road. You're trying to choose a new direction that's not going to take you to the same ish that you've been through before, on an emotional level. But for others of you, and that's why we're clarifying with that stars, because, you know, you're really wanting to focus on your true desires and your true wishes, on an intimate level, rather than, you know, being just led down any old road. You're really wanting to focus on, you know, making the choices emotionally that are going to lead you where you want to be. And you know, for others of you, this is talking a little bit more about, you know, coming from a very strong foundation when you are making choices with emotional intimacy. You kind of, with the Tower there, you're kind of locking yourself up in the Tower emotionally, and holding yourself away. You know, you're defending the Tower very carefully, and defending your decisions when it comes to emotional intimacy. So I do get that a lot of you are very, you know, defensive, I feel, guarding yourself, keeping your emotions, you know, hidden away within you in this Tower energy, you know, rather than, you know, allowing them out to express to and share, you know, with somebody else. That you are maybe involving yourself in a lot more of the physical stuff than, you know, actual affectionate type intimacy. You're trying to hold yourself separate from that, and as soon as things get a little bit too intimate for you, you kind of backing off into, you know, going back in within yourself. And it's all about, you know, choosing, you know, which road you're going to lead with that. Because for those of you where that is the case, where you've sort of been locking yourself away in your Tower and you're a bit defensive against the emotional stuff, it's kind of, you know, consciously choosing, are you going to continue doing that, or, you know, because I'm just intuitively feeling here, Leo, that doing that is not the path that you actually are going to find those wishes being fulfilled at the end of that path. You know, in order to move forward towards your wishes, you do need to have some level of vulnerability with a partner. You know, but it's just about choosing the right partner and making sure that you're not on that path where you are headed back to, you know, same things that you've faced in the past. It doesn't but it means it's kind of just that reminder, letting you know that there's multiple paths. Not all paths lead back to that Tower. Choose a new path for yourself when it comes to emotional intimacy. You can choose how you're being vulnerable with somebody, how you're opening up to somebody, and really, working out, if I do this and this, is that, leading me closer to my truest desires? Is that me acting from having hope and optimism, or is this me acting from fear? And that I'm following the wrong path, So just what's coming through there, Leo. It does feel as though you're a bit more focused on the physical side of things at the moment, and trying to just avoid that emotional stuff a little bit at the moment. But it's just sort of letting you know, just, there's other choices. You can always make different choices. And if you choose the wrong path, you can always turn around and go back the other way. All right? So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check other placements, of course. But for now, we'll move over to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Virgo, what's going on for our Virgos with intimacy? Physical versus emotional intimacy. Okay, Virgo, what's going on for Virgo with intimacy? It flipped and it just comes straight back out. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Not what I expected for you guys, Virgo. You guys normally are the crazy sex readings. The full on. They're always getting busy. In the physical action side of things for you, Virgo, we do have the house, followed by the mountain. All right, so this is kind of actually feeling separate to the physical side of things altogether. It's feeling for a lot of you that there's other challenges taking over at the moment. You're not able to even focus on what's going on, physical action stuff. You're not even caring about that. There's other parts of your life that are sort of taking precedence for you at the moment, Virgo. Being your home for some of you. I did recently, that weekly Virgo reading, it did flare up something for a lot of you in regard to a home. And I'm seeing that again, that we're focused on this house obstacle, this house challenge, some sort of delay with that house. So for a lot of you, this is a physical house that we're seeing coming through again. But we are sort of also finding that, it's to do with your sense of security. So it's kind of like you're just having some issues at the moment. Not even issues, but just challenges with your sense of security and stability. So for some of you, I'm just feeling it's totally separate to the physical, like it's come out in the physical cards, but it's like, it just feels like a totally separate area of your life that we're concerned with at the moment, and you're not even caring about, the giggity at the moment. You're kind of too preoccupied with, other obstacles elsewhere in your life. Issues of security and your inner stability and things like that. And some of you, there may be something going on a sexual, a physical level that is affecting your security within the physical stuff. And maybe that's partly what the obstacle is for some of you, some sort of delay. You may be, I'm just getting that for some of you, you may be putting it off until this happens, until that happens, putting that off. And it just feels as though it's just not at the forefront for you at the moment, Virgo. On an emotional level, we do have the wolf as well as the whip. All right. So once again, it does feel like it's elsewhere in your life that's coming through here. The wolf is, I'm the wrong card. The wolf is actually the dog card in the traditional deck. So it can talk about, I'm getting more along the lines of, you're feeling like you're the lone wolf when it comes to your, emotional intimacy. You're just a bit troubled at the moment. There's some, beating yourself up kind of energy just some tension going on. You're just too stressed and tense about whatever else is going on in your life at the moment, Virgo. I feel like, you know, sex and emotion is not a concern to you at the moment. Like, it may be not a concern in the sense that there's nothing, you know, no news is good news. You know, it could be definitely that. I just feel that for a lot of you, you're just too distracted or got too much else going on to even think about intimacy. You just sort of I'm just getting that tension, just tension at the moment. Not for some of you, it could, you know, you could be having some issues with you know, your tribe, your wolf pack, your friends, your you know, maybe just feeling a bit troubled about the loyalty that's existing for you within emotional connections, but it's not feeling like that's partner, you know, sex related. Once again, it's not feeling related to the question we're asking, to be honest. You may want to check your other signs, Virgo. You just seem to be have too much else going on for you, just a bit of tension and obstacles elsewhere in your life that are taking over everything else at the moment. Okay, well, taking over this reading anyway. Okay, but yeah, like I said, feel free to check other placements. Your rising sign is usually quite strong this week, but you know, any other strong placement that you have. All right, but we'll move on over to our Libras. How are we, Libra? All right. So, intimacy. Libra, what's going on for our Libras with intimacy? Physical versus emotional. Okay, Libra. I'm getting a pretty specific message coming through here. So if this doesn't resonate for you and your particular situation, you know, you're more than welcome to check other placements. But in the physical side of things, we do have the scythe energy there. A sudden change, maybe very unexpected for some of you. We also have the wolf card as well. So the wolf is you know, the dog in the traditional decks. It's all about friendships and your social circles and you know, people that are very loyal and supportive. But I'm getting clearly here that this is a sudden change in a friendship. Okay, so there's going to be a sudden change in a friendship. And it's going to, you know, it's sitting in the physical intimacy side of things, the action side of things. So it's really giving me that vibe of, you know, a friend that you thought they were just a friend, but all of a sudden, bang, bang, here we go, whoop-de-way. That was weird, sorry. But that's all I'm getting from that today, Libra, is that there's a sudden change in a friendship. You know, so it does talk about, it may be somebody that you're already very physically intimate with, and there's a sudden change in that connection as well. So if you are already in a you know, a friends who play kind of scenario, it may be developing into something more. And if you are like completely single, not physically with anybody, we may be having a friend popping up going, "Hey Libra, hi, let's get physical." So it's a sudden change, and for some of you it may be very, very unexpected and kind of out of nowhere, and you're not expecting this at all. But we are seeing on the emotional side of things the clover, okay, which tells you to take a chance, because whether this be a friend that you you know, you don't know this side of them, or a friend that, you know, you already know that side of them, but then they're taking a chance, or you need to take a chance that, yeah, it's going elsewhere. It's moving further than that as well, because on the emotional side of things, it's kind of letting us know here with the clover and then the heart. It kind of literally says, like, take a chance on opening opening up to love with this person. So I do feel as though there's a person sitting there in the physical side of things, and then you being told here on the intimate side of things to, open up your heart to this person, and take a chance. There's good fortune for love and romance at this time on an emotional connection side of things as well. So definitely a bit of a, like I said, it's pretty specific for a lot of you there. So let me know in the comments if you know what's going on for you, Libra, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements. Usually your rising sign quite strong at the moment, but any other strong placement that you have. But for now, we'll move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, intimacy, physical versus emotional intimacy for our Scorpios. Okay. Scorpio, very interesting. What we're seeing on the physical side of things, the action side of things, we do have the stars there, wishes being met, having hope and optimism that all your dreams are going to be fulfilled, and they're being fulfilled in the form of this feminine energy. Okay, so that's a very sort of nurturing the physical side of things, nurturing the action. It it can be a very emotional driven card, but I don't feel as though there's much emotion in this. It's talking about physical desires being met, and your desires being met when it comes to this person. We are seeing a person there, regardless of gender. Okay, they're just somebody maybe very effeminate. They may be very soft spoken, a nurturing type energy. They're a very giving type energy. Okay, so I don't feel, I'm not feeling that it's that emotionally charged, to be completely honest. It does feel more along the lines of just a physical connection, especially once we do see the intimate side of things for you, Scorpio. We have the garden there, followed by the whip. All right, so the whip does talk about some sort of tension, trouble. It can, I feel for a lot of you, this is talking about, tension within you, and kind of beating yourself up, and causing drama for yourself on an emotional level. And with the garden there, we do, that is a very social card. So it talks about meeting people. It is the date card, so it can talk about going on dates, meeting up with people, that sort of a thing. But I do feel as though with the physical stuff, we're seeing somebody in particular with the physical stuff. But what we're kind of seeing on the intimate side of things, I'm kind of just feeling here, Scorpio, that this is actually talking about, like I said, that energy of beating yourself up about stuff on an intimate level, and you kind of struggling to meet this person halfway with the emotional intimacy. The social card really does talk about, the garden really does talk about, meetings, and struggling to, and especially too with that whip, it's kind of like a struggle at the moment on the intimate side of things to meet this person's emotional needs as well as the physical. The physical seems fine. That doesn't seem to be a drama at all. It's the emotional side of things. So this person, because they are the feminine showing up there in your reading, they may be wanting more emotion from you, and you're sort of struggling to give that to them, and it's very interesting because it does feel just intuitively there, it does feel as though it's kind of that struggling to meet halfway, you not wanting to share as much emotionally because you're, it makes you too tense to get too intimate, and it makes you, fight with your own self when it comes to meeting this person halfway. But for one or two of you, this is kind of referring to an energy where, you may be having some trouble in your social life, and that's sort of, you know, steering you away from getting too emotionally intimate, too vulnerable at this time. So for a couple of you, there may be this issue where, you know, there's something going on in your social life that is actually, you know, affecting your potential to develop anything on an emotional level at this time. So, you know, we do sometimes find that, you know, I'm just getting here that, you know, this person may be wanting a little bit more from you than what you're willing to give, and they're on an intimate level. There may be something said or on I can't quite pick which side it is, whether it's you doing it or them doing it, but someone may be more interested in spending time with their friends than spending time being intimate. All right, so the physical stuff, the action, that's no problem once again, but then it's kind of like, okay, all right, cool, I got to go now. I'm going to meet up with a friend, and rather hang out with my friends than hang out with you, kind of vibe. So it's kind of like, you know, this person may want to hang out after as well. You know, they may want that to start building that emotional connection. But one or the other of you is kind of like, okay, cool, we've had our action, now let's go hang out with our friends, or I'm going to go meet up with friends, I'm going to go do some other social stuff, instead of doing that. It doesn't feel it's connected to the same energy as much, and it's causing a little bit of tension between you and whoever you're getting physical with. But for majority of you, it does feel as though there's this energy of you, you know, fighting yourself over the intimate stuff and just not wanting to, you know, meet anybody halfway, and wanting to keep things quite physical rather than emotional at this time. All right, Scorpio, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But for now, we'll move over to our Sagittarius. Saggy. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with intimacy, physical versus emotional intimacy for our Sagittarians? Okay, Sagittarius, I can see a pretty clear story here for you, Sagittarius. In the physical side of things, the action, we do have the clouds first and foremost, as well as the moon. All right, so they are sometimes, these two can sometimes fight for energy, but they are giving us a pretty clear message at the moment, because what it's kind of letting us know is you're up in your thoughts. The clouds is all about your thoughts, and up in your head, kind of overthinking things, and what you're overthinking is the emotional side of things. Okay, so you've got your thoughts focused solely on the emotional side of things. You're not really paying attention to the physical action stuff. You know, you're too up in your head at the moment. You're too focused on the emotional connections. Because straight away I can see exactly why. Because on the emotional side of things, firstly we have the stars. Okay, so there's some wishes tied up with the stars here, and it's kind of it has come through with the letter as well, which is communication. All right, so it feels as though you are, you know, with that wishes there, you're communicating your wishes and desires, and kind of, I'm just getting this, and you're not settling for anything else, that your wishes and desires are on the emotional side of things, that you have these wishes tied up with your emotional connections, not too focused on the physical connections at all. You know, you're just overthinking about the emotional side of things. You're stuck in the emotions, and focused on the emotions, because, you know, that's where your true desires lay, is with the emotional connection between you and people. And you seem to be communicating that clearly, that's what I want. I want, you know, regardless of what it is specifically for you, a lot of the time, you know, on the emotional side of things, when we see the wishes and desires, it's going to be talking about things like, you know, I want something serious. I want something with that emotional connection. I want the affection, you know, rather than I just care about sex or anything like that. It's the affection and the emotions that you're after here, with the wishes being on that side. And you do seem to be clearly able to communicate that no, I'm holding out for this. I don't care. I'm holding out for this. If you're not offering me this, then, I'm not, my cards on the physical, then they don't even care about the physical. They care about the emotional side of things. Okay, so it's just that vibe of holding out for something that is more of a connection than just a physical connection, not allowing yourself to get involved in short flings or casual stuff because you're wanting more than that. It's coming through pretty clearly there, Sagittarius. But if that doesn't resonate for you, you're more than welcome to check your other placements. But we have had a couple of readings along those lines anyway. So all right, but we'll move on over to our Capricorns. Okay, Capricorn, how are we today? All right, just looking at intimacy today. So physical intimacy versus the emotional affection stuff. All right. Okay, Capricorn, intimacy for our Capricorns. What's going on for Capricorn? Okay, I am a Capricorn as well, so if I make faces, it's because I'm like, does this mean me too? Okay, Capricorn. Definitely opposite to what I would expect if this was for just me. But we are looking at the Capricorn collective. All right, so with the physical side of things, the action, all right, we do have a lot of action headed your way. Firstly, we've got the ship, all right, so the ship is a lot of movement happening in the physical realm for you when it comes to the wham bam, all right, Capricorn. So there's, it's kind of like all your ships are coming on in at once, and traveling possible distance. Someone may be traveling an actual distance to get to you, to get to your bed, kind of vibe. It can talk about physical travel. You may be, if you are already in a connection, you may be traveling with that person or to somewhere, for some physical action with that person. We also do have the Clover. All right, so the Clover is the card of good fortune. The thing that both of these cards actually have in common is they both bring in a lot of good fortune. The ship outright talks about, good fortune headed your way, loading up that ship with all the cargo and it's about to dock in for you. But then, the Clover is the card of good luck and good fortune. So it does also let us know it's okay to take a risk at the moment, and that, it's a really, short term, a lot of movement happening physically, a lot of action, and it's okay for you to take some chances on this physical stuff. Take a chance. I feel like for a lot of you, it may actually be more than one person headed towards you, but we do see the clover there, so it's kind of like pick a 4-leaf clover and you'll have good luck. And this 4-leaf clover is on its way directly to you, Capricorn, headed straight. It's headed straight for you. It's going to crash into the dock. It kind of feels a bit like that, Capricorn. It does feel pretty fast. Moving, like coming out of nowhere, this ships in the night meeting, that kind of, I'm getting a lot of imagery here, but the Clover is letting you know that it's take a chance on this. Take a chance on this person or people, take a chance. Take a chance on this. And, it might start a journey that you will not soon forget. All right. And then on the intimate side of things, we actually have the card of physical intimacy coming out on the emotional intimacy side. So we have the snake here. all right, which is all about physical intimacy. It is, a lot of passion, desire, temptation. So, the emotional stuff is very wrapped up in the physical at the moment with you, Capricorn. But we do have a very interesting thing in this deck. This card, you can see it's the figure, the passion and the heat above her there. But it comes from this well of emotion. Okay, so there is still emotion in it. We don't we don't feel such strong desire for with this card. It's like you're feeling that very strong desire for this person, but it's coming from a base of emotion. I have been sort of getting with this card today that there's a base of emotion coming through, and a lot of passion and desire being ignited from this person, and it feels like, rather than stressing so much about the emotional side of things, it's the flames that you can't see past these flames. The physical passion is just so strong that it leaks out onto the emotional side of things as well. The affection is just a passionate type of affection as well. The emotion, the connection on an emotional level, it's got a strong passionate drive behind it as well. It's not just that slow burning emotion. It's that full on emotion. It's a lot of strong emotion being evoked here. And the other card we have is the wishes card, the star card there. Okay, so this is wrapped up in a lot of wishes and wish fulfillment, your dreams and desires coming on true for you, Capricorn. And that's on the emotional side as well. So the emotional wishes definitely starting to be fulfilled, but there's just a lot of passion wrapped up in these wishes as well. All right, so it's very interesting, Capricorn. Let me know in the comments, because I think I mentioned it recently in a Capricorn reading, but me personally, I'm not dating. I haven't been dating anybody for over a year now. So, to see that sort of a reading, I am struggling to resonate with that one today myself. I'll have to go back and check my other placements for me myself. But, if that's the collective, that's the collective. So let me know if it resonates for you as well. But, you are more than welcome to check other placements as well. I have found the rising signs to be quite strong this week. All right, but moving on to Aquarius. How are we, Aquarius? It's looking at intimacy this week, looking at intimacy. Okay, physical versus emotional intimacy for our Aquarians. Okay. Interesting energy here, Aquarius. On the physical side of things, I'm just going to grab a card for clarity here, Aquarius. Can I just get clarity for Aquarius with physical intimacy? Okay. So for the physical side of things, Aquarius, firstly, we've got the mouse. All right, which is mostly what I wanted to clarify, how that is relevant to you, because the mouse does talk about, things that have been sort of eating away at us, and it can quite a lot of the time talk about past loss still sort of affecting us when it comes to, your physical intimacy, the action that you're involving yourself in with others. Now, we have clarified that with the tree. All right, so it does sort of let us know that, there is this strong element of self-care, looking after yourself, looking after the things that are sort of eating away at you when it comes to physical intimacy. So for one or two of you, this actually could be talking about a past sexual trauma that is still sort of, it has changed your ability to be free and open sexually. All right. So, but we are seeing the tree. So it's kind of like you're growing past that. You're growing past any immaturity that you've had in the past to do with sexual intimacy, and the action of it. Um, I am getting this feeling of like, in because it is linked up with like the past there, that you feel as though someone has taken and taken and taken from you, that you've lost a certain sense of yourself when it comes to the physical side of things. But we are seeing that that's getting resolved. All right. So whatever you've struggled with the physical stuff, it is getting resolved. All right. Because not only do we have the tree, which is showing that, you're growing through that, you've healed quite a lot. You now have a lot more wisdom when it comes to how to approach physical stuff and whatnot. So I am just feeling, whatever that stage was for you in the past, where, the physical stuff was an issue for you, or struggle, or like it felt like being taken from you rather than equal give and take with the physical stuff. It is turning on its head, and you are sort of opening yourself up to new opportunities with the physical. We have the key here, which talks about success. So successfully moving on from the past issues that we may have had around the idea of sex even. I am still getting, for one or two of you, that there is some sort of sexual trauma related to whatever we're seeing here, but that you have now grown through that, and you can now how to look after yourself and look after your own needs, when it comes to the physical stuff, and the actions that you take when it comes to that. But opening up new opportunities for yourself to open up to somebody, all that sort of stuff. And if you do resonate with that, you're not alone. Okay, a lot of women have been through similar things. I myself have been through a lot of those sorts of issues, and you're not alone. Okay, but you also have grown from that, and you're not the person that that you once were. You're now able to find success in the act, in the action. Okay, so this is success, and there's a lot of, it's wrapped up in fire here too. So it is, opening yourself up to the idea of physical stuff, giving you a successful outlet in some way, shape, or form. All right. We are seeing on the emotional side of things the bear. So you are still, you have created strong boundaries for yourself, and you are still a little bit, protective of yourself when it comes to the emotional side of things, which fair. A lot of us need to be in this bear energy more when it comes to this sort of stuff. All right. So but it is about, looking after yourself, protecting yourself, nurturing yourself, having those boundaries and keeping those boundaries firm, not allowing people to cross your boundaries. So on that level, we do need to err on the side of caution and not allow it to become, defensiveness against people that are just trying to be, affectionate and whatnot with us. Because, with that bear energy, sometimes if you get too close to the bear, they'll rip your face off. So you just got to be careful to not go too far with that. Keep your boundaries firm. Yes, protect yourself. Yes, but not to the level of, defensiveness where you're not allowing anybody in at all. All right. Because we do have the cross coming through as well. So the cross does talk about, a potential very spiritual connection that you may be, involving yourself in. So if you are already in a connection, for that emotional intimacy, relying on the spiritual connection between you and this person, and a lot of spiritual energy is there for you to access. And it does also let us know, though, have faith. All right. Whatever you're wanting on an emotional and intimate level, on the emotional side of things, the affectionate side of things, have faith. All right. Have some faith in yourself. Have faith in this connection. Have faith that it will be there for you. Okay. Because we do see, a strong sense of destiny when it comes to this card. All right. So bit of a deep one there, Aquarius. There's always one reading every all signs that has to throw me in the deep end a little bit, but that is totally fine. Like I said, I've been there, done that, worn that t-shirt, and have been that bear energy myself. But it is all about having faith that things can be whatever you want them to be. All right, so you're more than welcome to check other placements, of course, if that doesn't fit you in your particular circumstances. Okay, but we'll move on over to Pisces. How are we today, Pisces? I'm just looking at physical intimacy versus emotional intimacy. What's going on for you, Pisces? Pisces and intimacy, please. Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So, on a physical level, we do have the moon followed by the book. All right, so this kind of lets me know that, there may not be that much happening on a physical level. I'm not saying that there's not, but this sort of, the moon is all about emotions. All right, so usually we would see that on the emotionally intimate side of things, but you physically are focused on the emotions at the moment. So even if you are having action, there's a lot of emotion tied up with the physical stuff at the moment. So it's kind of like, I kind of feel, I'm kind of intuitively feeling here, Pisces, that for a lot of you, this is that energy where you can't be physical with somebody unless you have an emotional connection with that person. And a lot of us need affection. There's a lot of people that rely more on the affection than the physical actions. In order to inspire the physical actions, there's a lot of people that do need that emotional drive, spurring that on. And what we're sort of seeing here with that book is, you're kind of wanting emotional new beginnings with the next chapter of your life. You're moving into the next chapter of your life emotionally. So it's kind of taking the focus off whatever's going on physically. You're not really focusing on the physical actions yourself. You're focused on the emotional next chapter of your life rather than, what's happening, physical. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying, there definitely could be some of you that are involving in casual sort of things, physical things, but, you are deep down sort of more focused on the emotional next chapter and moving forward to more emotional connection rather than just physical connection. So I would dare say quite a lot of you Pisces are, not really involving in the physical side of things as much at the moment, because unless there is that emotional connection there as well. But on the emotional side of things, we do have the key, all right, and that's followed by the feminine. All right, so once again, we're seeing emotion coming through with that feminine. So quite a lot of emotion in your reading. Both the moon and the woman do talk about, having a strong intuition as well. Just a bit of a side note there. I don't feel as though that's impacting on the intimacy stuff as much, but it can, in the sense that, you intuitively know whether somebody is offering emotion as well as physical, or if they're just sort of wham bam thank you and see you later, and you're not putting up with that sort of stuff, I don't feel, for a lot of you. But we do see the key there. So it's kind of like opening yourself up to this, to emotion, opening yourself up, opening brand new we do see with both the key and the book brand new opportunities, brand new things that you're opening yourself up to, new chapters, new doorways you're walking through, especially on an emotional level. All right, we really finding you wrapped up in the emotional connection side of things, the emotional intimacy side of things at the moment. So we don't really genderize the feminine either, but we are just sort of feeling that that's you opening these doorways to yourself. This is like the feminine within you, Pisces, regardless of whether you're masculine or feminine. It's the feminine within you that nurtures emotion, that nurtures affection, that nurtures love. All right, and we see a lot of success with the key. The key is the card of success. Okay, so it's like when that key unlocks that door and opens that door, and then you walk through that new door into the next chapter of your life, what's on the other side of that door? Success. Exactly what you want on an emotional level. You finding success in opening up to the emotional side of things, opening up to nurturing yourself, nurturing someone else. There is a lot of emotional intimacy coming through for you today, Pisces, and with both the book and the key there, I would dare say for a lot of you this is brand new sorts of stuff. Brand new intimacy. You only just sort of opening up to that person, to that stuff, to those connections. So some of you, like I said, it doesn't really matter whether you're in a connection already or not. We are finding that you are sort of starting some brand new chapter emotionally, or getting ready to start a brand new chapter on an emotional level. And we are going to be seeing you opening up your heart, opening up to love, opening up to romance, and being quite successful once you do. All right, so the emotions are working for you, Pisces. The emotional side of things are actually working really well in your favor at this time. So, just focus on opening yourself up to love and opening yourself up to the emotional, affectionate side of things, and you will definitely have success, Pisces. All right, so that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But, like and subscribe to the channel, guys, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.